Want to know why? Ask how. Howard the Humongous. The holidays are under attack from a new mutation of all things, COVID. City and state governments in California, Louisiana, Wisconsin, Chicago, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C. have issued warnings that getting together for Christmas or New Year's can be hazardous to your health. Says Philadelphia Health Commissioner Cheryl Betigole, please do not hold or attend holiday parties indoors. It's just too dangerous. In other words, Christmas and New Year's parties can kill you. This may sound like the Grinch who stole Christmas, but the Grinch is the new COVID mutant called Omicron. Says Germany's Der Spiegel, thanks to Omicron, it's almost as though a completely new pandemic has been unleashed. A turbo contagion, an Omicron tsunami. Why is Omicron so dangerous? It's one of the fastest spreading viruses researchers have ever seen. A few weeks ago, Omicron did not even have a name. On November 26th, it only accounted for 3% of America's COVID cases. A mere 9 days later, it accounted for 73%, an astonishing leap. According to a new study from the University of Hong Kong, Omicron multiplies 70 times faster in your body than the other new COVID mutation, Delta. And according to South Africa's National Institute for Communicable Disease, Omicron is an escape variant. It is 40 times better at evading your immune system than any previous COVID virus. What's worse, Omicron is even capable of hospitalizing children under 5. Omicron has these superpowers because it sports a grand total of 50 mutations. Yes, 50 mutations. And over 30 of those mutations are on Omicron's spike protein, the protein the COVID viruses use as a can opener to pry their way into your cells. These mutations help the Omicron virus dodge any immunity you may have gotten from a past case of COVID or from vaccination. So what's the point of a vaccination if Omicron can still infect you? Vaccines are a death preventer. They keep you out of the hospital and out of the coffin. On the hopeful side, Omicron is not as effective as Delta in taking over your lungs and putting you on a ventilator, the things that killed you with previous forms of the new virus. Omicron grows 10 times more slowly than Delta in lung tissue, but Omicron more than makes up for this weakness. It takes over your nose and throat, and it generates coughs, which means the Omicron variant uses you as a squirt gun to infect those around you. On average, if you get Omicron, you will infect 5 other people. Omicron can also use you as a fire hose when you sing, which is why some authorities are begging that when you're with others for the holidays, please do not break out in song and wear a mask to protect the people around you. What are the symptoms of the Omicron variant? Coughs, sore throat, fatigue, exhaustion, tiredness, congestion, and a runny nose. If you have these symptoms, test yourself with a rapid home test like the ones available from CVS, Rite Aid, Walmart, and Amazon. If it turns out you have COVID, isolate for between 5 and 10 days and test yourself when your isolation is over to be sure you can no longer infect others. There is a single bottom line to all of this. Every day, more than 1,000 Americans are dying of COVID. Some days it's 2,000 or 3,000. Over 810,000 Americans have been mowed down by COVID so far. That's more than the number of Americans who died in all of the wars of the 20th century combined. Far more. And in 2021, your life expectancy and mine was chopped down by almost 2 years, thanks to COVID. To save ourselves, says Christian Drosten, Germany's most prominent virologist, it is vital to close the vaccination gap. Even those who believe that immunization is part of a plot by a global elite to take over the world have a patriotic duty to be vaccinated. That would be the greatest holiday gift they could give. This is Howard Bloom speaking to you from the future. It's your job and my job to make. Or, want to know why? Ask how.